Are you ready?
Quit time!
We are the best in the world at what we do.
It's the PriMalLow Wrestling Show with Robert Price, Tom Malloy, and your host, Rich Lopez.
Hello to all you wrestling fans. Welcome to episode number 43 of the PriMalLow Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Rich Lopez, and I am not here with Tom Malloy and Robert Price due to a work scheduling conflict. I am currently in New Jersey. I know you guys are really sad. It's just like the day Francesca died from the New Day. However, as always, we are here to never, ever disappoint our wrestling audience. And I just called them on the phone, and we are going to give you guys our Royal Rumble recap, where we're going to go down the card and give our thoughts on the outcomes of the matches, especially with Triple H becoming a 14-time world champion. We're also going to recap Raw, as always, where we saw the Raw debut of AJ Styles and the Fastlane main event that was announced, where it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. And then we're also going to do the PriMalLow mailbag on the phone, where we take a question that was submitted to us on Facebook from Heidi Jimenez, and it's regarding the Undertaker streak and when it was broken by Brock Lesnar. Also on the show, we have our three banked segments, as me and Robert call them. It's segments that we have recorded, but we never aired because in case of situations like this where we are not able to get together. So the segments you're going to hear are current WWE Superstars on the main roster who would be successful in the 1990 era ECW. We're also going to talk about our favorite gimmick matches and our favorite superstars in those gimmick matches and our Mount Rushmore. So it's, even though they're bank segments, they are very special. And thank you guys for tuning in. And after this short break, we're going to proceed with our Royal Rumble recap. So thank you guys and stay tuned.
All hail. Bow down to the king.
Hello, Robert and Tom.
Hey,
What's going on?
nothing much. How's New Jersey?
It's all right. Tom, you there?
Yeah, yo, what's up, man? What's going on?
Sorry.
How's Dirty Jers?
Dirty Jers. I mean, just in case we have audience, in Jersey, which I don't know if we do yet, but I don't want to, call them dirty, but it's doing well. I'm about to get some food in a little bit, but,
There you go.
I was just saying in the opening that I didn't want to let our fans down, so I had to call you guys just to get your thoughts on the Rumble. So you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Price?
Yes.
I know you're a little sick, so thank you for, manning up.
Oh, we're sick every single week. This is a weekly thing now.
That's true. All right, so let's just go down the card real quick. Let's start off with the opening match that was Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. Last man standing match for the IC title. Dean Ambrose came on top. What did you guys think of that match?
I thought it was a good match. Put a lot of. It was not. I don't think as much. It didn't live up to the hype for me. But overall, the match itself was a good match. Definitely happy to see Dean Ambrose keep the belt.
Okay, Price, how about you, man?
Actually, this lived up to my expectations under the WWE banner. You know how I'm very critical and very harsh on them.
Yeah.
With people coming from PCW or Ring of Honor to have these type of stipulation matches. I believe it actually was done well.
Okay. What do you guys think about? Did you like the ending? Maybe like how he went through two tables. Kevin Owens, that is.
Because Kevin Owens technically didn't get knocked out by Dean Ambrose. He knocked himself out.
Yeah, by putting himself in that situation.
Yeah.
All right. Also on the card was Kalisto and Del Rio. Del Rio, who won the title 2 weeks ago after Kalisto won it for technically 3 days. Kalisto regained it at Rumble, so he is a two-time United States champion. So what do you guys think about that match? Or what do you guys think about this hot potato United States championship?
The prestige of the U.S. championship is once again gone.
You think it's gone?
Yeah, I don't know. But maybe this might be a good stepping stone in the right direction for Kalisto's future.
He's the future Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, so.
All right, Price, what do you think of that match? I know you like Kalisto, but you're critical sometimes of the U.S. title, so.
I just think that I agreed with Tom with the prestige is kind of gone. Because it took so long for somebody to take it off of Cena. Alberto Del Rio took it off of him, and then Cena couldn't win the rematch. Then all of a sudden now it's back and forth. So that means that whoever beats Alberto Del Rio, Kalisto, are actually better than Cena.
Yeah, that's a really good psychology method to that. I didn't even think about that. Do you think Kalisto's going to hold it for a long period of time now, or anybody?
Mania.
Till Mania?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Till Mania, okay. Also, the New Day successfully defended their titles against the Usos, which seems to be an ongoing rivalry. Hopefully that was the final match in that rivalry. So what do you guys think about that match?
I was happy to see the New Day still be on top.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the new and improved Francesca too?
She's beautiful. From what I heard, it's made of gold.
It's made of gold.
Yes.
Where'd you hear that at? Backstage or something?
On Raw.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, in the segment with The Rock, they said, "Where's your gold, Rock?" Because us three have gold. And they said, "You have gold, you have gold." And Xavier Woods went, "Just for everybody to know, Francesca 2 is made of gold."
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Awesome.
So do you guys think? So what do you think the New Day is going to go from here? Since they pretty much beat every tag team, do you think there's somebody from NXT coming up like we talked about, or do you think they're going to try to give the Dudley Boys another shot? Or
Unfortunately, I think the Dudley Boys are going to win it at Mania.
Yeah.
To conclude their career with the WWE.
Okay, how about you, Price?
I think somebody's going to win it at Mania off of them.
Okay. I feel like
Perfect alignment.
Yeah, I feel like they have to. You know what I have a feeling too? I just saw that Goldust and R-Truth little, a.k.a. Booker T and Goldust of 13 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen into something serious, but we'll see.
You hope it does or it doesn't?
I hope it does not. So.
Yeah, but both of them are really going nowhere with their carear, so...
No, I mean, I know they're going to do it to have fun, but I mean, I just hope they don't get the titles, that's all. Because I know Booker T and Goldust got the titles a decade and some change ago, so...
Maybe the Ascension will win.
Yeah, right. Let's think of something. Let's think of an alternative to that, Price. Becky Lynch was unsuccessful in trying to be getting her Divas title for the first time over Charlotte. Charlotte won due to interference from Ric Flair and a kiss from Ric Flair. Also, I just remembered that. So, what do you guys think about that match?
Just building Charlotte up to be one of the best divas in the company, or the top diva.
Yeah. How about you, Price?
I think Becky Lynch brought it, just like I said, prior to the Royal Rumble. She set the bar even higher for what I believe will be a triple threat at WrestleMania.
See, I almost would agree with you. I think it's going to be a triple threat at Fastlane, and then Sasha's going to get her one-on-one at Mania. I wouldn't be upset if it was a triple threat at Mania, though, to be honest with you. But what do you guys think about Sasha's return after that match at the Rumble?
She's looking good.
Yeah? How about you, Price?
Yeah. Agreed. She's looking great.
Yeah? Well, you know I have a big crush on her, so she's always looking good. But, all right, the final match. Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing a match, right? I feel like I don't have anything in front of me. I don't have anything in front of me right now. Well, the pre-show, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger won that Four Corners tag team match to become entrants in the Rumble. Obviously, Swagger had his 15 seconds of fame, literally. Mark Henry, what do you have, maybe a minute and 15 seconds or something? He wasn't in there that long, but that leads me... What's up?
I said you're right.
Yeah, that leads me to the Royal Rumble match, which was Roman Reigns defending his title. That was the first time a champion ever defended their WWE title in the Rumble match, and it ended up being Triple H as the victor. What was the final four? It was Sheamus, Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Triple H, or was it Jericho?
No, it was Ambrose and Reigns again.
No, that was the final three. Oh, Sheamus and Triple H, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Authority versus Shield.
Yeah, that's how.
Part 2.
Yeah, that's how it's been. What do you guys think about that Royal Rumble? Any exciting parts? I will talk about AJ Styles after your initial thoughts.
I thought it was a really great Rumble. You know how happy I was to see Triple H win.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Sami Zayn come in.
Okay.
I don't know what this means with him on the NXT roster, but it should be it's going to be a good road to WrestleMania.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Price, how about what were your initial thoughts after Rumble or during it?
Just a little side note for Tom. On NXT, he's going to be in a triple threat, I believe it's this week, against Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe. And then this is leading to the same weekend as WrestleMania, so I think he's going to be on that card. And right after WrestleMania, Sami Zayn can make it up to the main roster.
I agree with you.
All right, there you go. But as for the Royal Rumble match, I was quite happy with all the people they have for Orlando, the NXT presence. However, my pick didn't pan out, so Jake the Snake Roberts didn't win the Royal Rumble match, like I said, or even appear.
I really can't believe
So
I really can't believe every entrant you kept saying Jake the Snake. It wasn't even
Well,
close.
just exciting.
It was funny. AJ Styles, what did you guys think about his debut? Did you think it was too early in the Rumble? Just give me your overall perspective on his debut.
I believe that AJ Styles, him coming in that early was good because the focus was mostly on him and Roman Reigns, because everybody thought Roman Reigns was going to win, and as soon as AJ came out, they're like, oh, he's going to eliminate Roman Reigns.
Okay.
As for him having a little 15 seconds with him and Chris Jericho, which led to a match on Monday Night Raw, I believe that it didn't take anything away from him, because I believe that you were saying that it was taking something away from him if he didn't win the match or do very well in the match.
There's the way I was looking at it, which I'll let Malloy speak real quick, but I want to just say something to that. I did say that last week's podcast, or maybe it was right before the show. I forget or right before the Rumble show. I forget when I said it, but I just felt like if he got eliminated by Reigns, it would have been just another elimination, and he would have not gotten forgotten, but I just feel like it would have taken a hit. However, him going, and then on Monday after I rewatched it, I realized like he got eliminated by Kevin Owens, which I was excited about. However, I thought about it. Kevin Owens had a last man standing match. He was injured and he got eliminated. Now you could say that since he was in there for like 35 minutes, it kind of canceled out. So
I think it does cancel itself out.
Yeah, I mean I think it does. So I feel like he's kind of saved. I still think he's adjusting based on his performance on Raw, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I think he's still trying to adapt to the WWE style, and I think he was trying to adapt to the reaction of the crowd. Like, in WWE, you pretty much have to play to the crowd. I don't think he's used to that, really, if that makes any sense.
No, you're correct.
So I think he was just trying to get used to that, and maybe that was just what they got him in there early for, just to get his feet wet with the crowd reactions and all that stuff. And so, I mean, I guess it was a good trial run. I probably, if I was in creative, I would have did the same exact thing. So, although I did say that initially, I guess I was wrong. So, Molly, what's your thoughts on AJ Styles?
I think he's a great add to the company. He's going to be doing great things, I think, at WrestleMania. Probably get the Intercontinental title. That's what I'm thinking anyways.
Okay. That's a nice look right there. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking him, or you could be in a triple threat match. That's what I was initially thinking, but we'll see. You guys' overall pay-per-view, was it a good one to start off 2016?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was definitely an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Triple H is the champion. Life is good.
Okay. Price?
I think that Rumble match was definitely better than last year's. However, I didn't really like that there was no legend presence or
I feel like
any real big surprise people other than AJ Styles.
Yeah, I really feel like it's really hard for the surprise factor anymore because all the old school legends are really, really old. Like, think about it. Most of the 80s wrestlers were the big emphasis on the surprise legends. Or on the surprise factor for the Rumble. So now that I think they're just, especially with the Sting injury, I feel like they're just kind of scared for the, the physical aspect of it. And I feel like most of the 90s, unless you do a gimmick that just stood out, that's the only surprising thing. But to make that gimmick look like a serious competitor in the Rumble is hard to do, if that makes any sense.
No, I totally agree.
Okay. Real quick, let's just talk about Raw. What do you guys think about it overall? We won't even spend 3 minutes on it.
It was I liked the Jericho AJ Styles match.
Okay.
And I liked the main event. It was actually a good match. And I liked the little Shield Tower Bomb to end that.
Okay. Price, what'd you think about it?
I thought that Chris Jericho was very sloppy on Raw.
I don't know who. I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if it was Jericho or AJ Styles though. I feel like they put Jericho with him because. Remember, when Jericho came in '99, he had to wrestle X-Pac so he could adapt to the WWE style. I feel like AJ was put in the ring with Jericho for that same exact reason. I just don't know whose fault it was for some of the sloppy, tangle-ups and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that Jericho is getting kind of sloppy because he comes off of the tour bus and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm wrestling.
Yeah,
there's no training thing. There's just, here I am. And,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to have ring rust no matter what.
Mm-hmm. I still think that AJ, I don't know why, I just don't feel like, I mean, obviously, I think he's just trying to find his groove in WWE, and I think he'll find it by Mania, but I think after that match, like, he was just standing there waiting for a response from Jericho. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, I just felt like, didn't feel awkward, but I just felt like, all right, he's still trying to get his feet wet and stuff like that, so hopefully he finds that soon, because I don't want them to drop the ball on him, you know what I mean?
I do believe superstar.
Yeah.
I do believe that Chris Jericho is probably the best person for him to start out with, because Jericho has that. He wrestled all over the place. So, like, AJ, I believe he's more like a Japanese wrestler with, like, his step kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
High-flying moves.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jericho had that discipline when he was first starting out.
Exactly. And then just to touch on the Fastlane main event, which was announced at the end of Raw, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Winner gets a shot at Triple H's title at WrestleMania 32. Is that kind of like a marquee match for you guys to be excited for?
Yeah, I think overall that Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel, turn his back on Roman Reigns, because he's going to want the world title.
I'm sorry, what was that, Malloy?
I think he's going to turn his back on Roman Reigns because he wants that world title.
You think it's going to start a feud or something?
Yeah, escalate to after WrestleMania. You know, Triple H is only going to wrestle probably at WrestleMania, that's it.
Okay, that's understandable. Price, how about you? What do you think about the Fastlane main event?
I really hope that Dean Ambrose wins. Otherwise, if Brock Lesnar wins, then Brock Lesnar wins the title off of Triple H. That totally eliminates. You have the part-timer who's going to walk out of the Rumble. Out of the WrestleMania. However, if Triple H wins at Mania against Lesnar, then that just totally destroys the fact that Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I completely understand. I just think it's just set up for Reigns, unfortunately. I already know what's going to happen. Brock Lesnar's going to destroy Ambrose, I feel like, and then it's going to be him and Reigns, and then the Wyatt family's going to come out and cost Lesnar the title, and then that's where that feud goes, and then the Reigns feud's going to go with Triple H. That's just my initial thought. We'll see how it turns out.
But what is that? Then that's anyone but Lesnar? Because then they're giving Roman Reigns the win.
No, I didn't even think about that. That does make sense. I don't know. I just feel like with the Rumble issue, I feel like it was just, I don't know. That does make a whole lot of sense. But do you really think Dean Ambrose is going to go in title for title, or do you think he's going to lose on like a Raw?
I don't think Dean Ambrose is going to main event WrestleMania. That's just.
I don't think so either, and I can't see him losing the title on the Raw because then that loses all his momentum.
Yeah. Well, that Fastlane does suck then, because you don't have an Intercontinental title match. You don't have a WWE World Heavyweight title match. So, great. If you get the network for $9.99.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. The U.S. title is going to be the main event, dude.
All right.
Hey, I'm Tom Malloy from the PriMalLow Wrestling Show. Do you like Facebook? Do you like wrestling? Like our page. Search the PriMalLow Wrestling Show. Enjoy.
Like I said, for the Royal Rumble recap and the Raw recap, we just hate letting our fans down. So while I have you guys on the phone, I just wanted to do the PriMalLow mailbag. Since you don't want to let our fans down, we want to answer the fans' questions. This one is from Heidi Jimenez, and it's regarding the WrestleMania Undertaker streak, which is obviously one of the biggest parts of WrestleMania. So, she writes on our Facebook page, I was not a big fan of Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. I personally did not want the streak to end. However, if it were to end, I would have liked Triple H or Shawn Michaels to win. Especially Shawn Michaels, since I'm a huge fan. I just want to ask you guys, were you guys a fan of the streak being broken? And if you were able to break it with a superstar, who would it have been? So what do you guys want to, who wants to start off with that question? Because we all were, I feel like that I know you guys were not big fans of the streak being broken, but.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the streak being broken at all. I was really hoping maybe Bray Wyatt broke it or something like that, not Lesnar, who already is a guaranteed Hall of Famer in the WWE.
Okay. If you were to break it, so you would pick Bray Wyatt, or would you pick anybody else in the past couple of years that had a shot?
I'd say Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt? Okay,
yeah.
Price, how about you, man? I know this question is specifically for you since you're one of the biggest Undertaker fans that I know. So.
I would not have wanted to be broken. I believe the mystique of the Undertaker kind of took a huge hit when he did lose at WrestleMania 30, because it was a feel-good moment for all the older wrestlers, actually all the wrestlers. You know, you were able to see this guy who helped, one of the two people that helped WWE actually survive and be around.
Yeah. And
then they had him lose. So I wasn't too happy with that at all.
All right.
However,
if you had somebody to break it in the past WrestleMania matches, who would you have had?
I would have had, I think Bray Wyatt would have been okay.
Yeah.
I would have just had somebody that would have won it and would have went on to have like a great career and give back to the company, kind of like a Cena or Orton, even at WrestleMania 21.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Even Orton, if he won when he was a Legend Killer, that would have gave him a huge boost.
All right, before I give my response, I just remembered Paul Heyman said that he heavily tried to convince creative to make CM Punk break the streak because he thought CM Punk was actually going to walk out on the company like around WrestleMania 29. Would you guys have enjoyed that? I know you guys didn't have him on your list, but would you have not enjoyed that, but would you have accepted that?
No, because
knowing that he wasn't going to walk out, I should say. Like at that time, if it was WrestleMania 29 season, like just go back, 2 years ago, would you have been excited accepted it if he beat the streak?
I would have, because he was pretty hot then, and he had a burst of momentum. He was the longest reigning champion in probably about 10 years.
Longer than 10 years, man. Probably like since the 90s.
Since Diesel. Yeah. So overall, yeah, that would have been a good pick.
Price, how about you?
No, because of two reasons. First reason, because of the fact that he didn't really need it, because he already had that huge push with having the title for such a long time.
Okay.
And also because I was there, and I'm afraid of what would have happened if that happened. I probably wouldn't have been here right now.
That's funny.
Or else I would have been.
You'd be in jail right now for murder.
No, I wouldn't have rioted, but.
Oh, I'm saying you would have punched somebody. But just to answer, my answer is obviously I hated Lesnar winning. Because in hindsight I kind of thought I was accepted by the way they were booking him, but now it's just to the point where you can't even book anybody against him because it's not even enjoyable. So I definitely don't like it now. I definitely didn't like it then. So if I had to have anybody break it, I didn't. Now I'm trying to go by the streak was broken at 30. I didn't know he was gonna face Bray Wyatt, so obviously I'm a big Bray Wyatt fan. If I knew that was gonna happen, I definitely wanted Bray Wyatt to break it. However, Orton, Edge, and Shawn Michaels are also acceptable answers on my end. So there were my 4 potential streak breakers, I guess. So Price, real quick, no Jake the Snake for you, dude?
No Jake the Snake, because listen, what was that said a couple episodes ago that he was supposed to get? Whose job was?
He's supposed to get Pat Patterson's job, I believe, but Pat Patterson did not. He didn't take a resignation like you warned Jake the Snake or whatever, so he felt betrayed.
So actually, we should all be thanking Jake the Snake Roberts because he gave us one of the greatest things for the wrestling company by being selfish.
Yes, I completely agree with you. I don't know if he was supposed to win anyway, but I'm sure since he held up for release, that obviously made the decision a lot more easier. I guess we'll never know if he was supposed to win at WrestleMania 8 or not, but so.
Also, the world may never know.
All right, well, Heidi, thank you for that question. As always, you can always hit us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Blogger. So that is our PriMalLow mailbag. Thank you guys. While you guys are still on the phone, I appreciate you never letting our fans down.
Hi, I'm Robert from the PriMalLow Wrestling Show, here to tell you about our Twitter account. Follow our page at PriMalLow Show for fan interaction regarding professional wrestling. Thank you, and we can't wait to hear from you.
ECW.
ECW. ECW. ECW. ECW. ECW.
I was going to go 25 straight times, but it would take too much time. Paul Heyman, who was pretty much the owner, creator of ECW, It was known for its rabid hardcore style. Everybody knows that. Rhino, New Jack, RVD, Taz, Sabu, just to name a few. Raven, Tommy Dreamer. How can I forget those two? That's
The
what
Blue
the-
Meanie.
the BWO, stuff like that. They were just known for, graphic moves, blood, blood guts. They took blood, sweat, and tears to another level in ECW. So, we have a lot of people that you can see that style in WWE, but because of it's a PG era, you really can't emphasize on it. So, it's kind of like a creative topic. Give me 3 wrestlers. And I know everybody's going to say Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper. You can even throw in Bray Wyatt in there. So besides those 3, give me 3 other names that you think can perform in ECW if it was still around today, and who, most importantly, can be successful in ECW. Price, I know you're a big fan of ECW, so you can start off.
My picks are going to shock you. I went with R-Truth, Brock Lesnar, and Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Obviously the Brock Lesnar one fits like a glove. His double XL gloves because he has huge hands. But R-Truth, I could kind of see it. But Cody Rhodes, I'm really interested in. So can you please explain?
Cody Rhodes?
Yes. Well, even R-Truth too.
R-Truth, because I think of when he first came in, Tom was saying before the show about R-Truth was in a tag team with Road Dogg called Key Quick, and then he went to TNA. R-Truth is one of these guys that's a closet hardcore fan.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. And I believe that give him a bunch of weapons and give him creative and give him that go out there and just have a great match.
Paul Heyman was known for doing that.
R-Truth would go out there. He would be able to, he already knows what he wants to do, and he knows that he would do anything in order to make his match steal the show.
Okay, how about Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes, because it's something similar. Every single time that he walks out, he wants to steal the show.
He goes 100%. Gimmick,
And
matches, everything.
he would do big spots if he was given the chance.
Okay. Brock Lesnar just because he's a beast.
Brock Lesnar, because I think that no matter where Paul Heyman was, Brock Lesnar was going to go.
Or follow him.
Right.
Yes, okay. Malloy, how about you? Give me your 3.
I have Kevin Owens, Samoan Joe, and Tyson Kidd.
Okay. I like, obviously, the first 2. Tyson Kidd kind of strikes me just like Cody Rhodes, but ECW also was known for great matches, so that's understandable, and that's why I'm interested to hear of how you think they would fit in. So you can explain all of them if you want.
I'll start with Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens would have fit in really well to that hardcore style. He would have had great matches with Sandman, Sabu, RVD, the Dudley Boys, whoever he was going against
I think
at that
Kevin
point in
Owens
time.
and RVD would be a great match.
It would be.
So.
For a guy who could do a 450 splash, he'd be doing it through tables, through barbed wire. He would be doing great.
He can do a 450 splash.
Yeah, like you said in our last show.
Yes.
Samoan Joe, just because he fits that bill, is just like a brawler, brute. Him and Taz, I think, would have great matches. I think it would be over the top. And then Tyson Kidd, because when Tyson Kidd came in, they were calling him the workhorse. Everything else like that. And I think that's very comparable to Lance Storm's.
Yeah, when he was there?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good pick.
And they're both Canadian.
Yeah.
The most common.
They're
the
both
most
from the
common
Heart.
factor.
They're both from the Heart Dungeon.
And so is Kevin Owens, actually.
He's from the Heart Dungeon?
No.
I was going to
Canadian.
say, I know he was Canadian, yeah.
Victor is, though, from the Ascension.
Sorry for that. I have Cesaro, Wade Barrett, and Roman Reigns. Yeah, I tried to hide the Wade Barrett pick. Honorable mention was Rusev. But Cesaro, just because he could do anything. I call him a utility wrestler. He could brawl, high fly, be technical. I can only imagine if he had Paul Heyman under his wing. That's not scripted and not natural like it was 2 years ago. I wish he would just, Paul Heyman would be like, go out, have fun, steal the show. Cesaro would do that. Wade Barrett, he was a bare-knuckle boxing champion. Obviously, the toughness is there. He's the same exact thing. Give him free reign. I'm sure he could come up with some creative spots with weapons and stuff like that. I think he'd be a great fit. And last, Roman Reigns, I kind of compare him to who would be a Rhino. Just a brawler. He's not overly muscular. He's not that big beast presence like Brock Lesnar, but he's bad enough that if he walked down the aisle, you'd be like, I don't want to mess with him. I can't imagine what he'd do in like tables matches and stuff like that. So Rusev almost kind of is a similar thing. Sorry, my paper just fell. Rusev has like that similar thing of Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns is a bigger marquee value.
Hey, I'm Rich Lopez from the PriMalLow Wrestling Show. Don't forget to hear our new episodes of the PriMalLow Wrestling Show on SoundCloud. Episodes are uploaded every Tuesday night. Thank you for tuning in.
WWE as well as WCW they've been known for creating a lot of gimmick matches. What's that one at Halloween Havoc 91? Do you remember the one Dusty Rhodes
House
created?
of Horror.
That's what it is. That's one of the worst ones ever. I'm sorry, Dusty, R.I.P. But it wasn't. The concept was okay. Just the performers just didn't know what they were doing.
Also, R.I.P. Abdul the Butcher. He died in that match.
Yeah, that's it. Kayfabe. But Hell in a Cell match. That's no joke. Obviously, that's a great match. But there's obviously other ones: ladder matches, casket matches, boiler room brawls, I Quit, submission, stuff like that. So, Price, we're gonna just alternate here. What is your favorite gimmick match? I'll take it a step further. Who is your favorite performer in that match, and what's your favorite match of that gimmick match?
My favorite gimmick match is the ladder match.
Okay.
I always had this great thing for put something up high and have to climb something to grab it.
Yeah.
HBK.
Of course.
And not only because of the fact that he was doing it with Razor Ramon, that spots that you would still see today and be like, oh, wow, how was that done? But my favorite match from that was Jericho versus HBK for the title.
At No Mercy 2008?
Right.
Yeah? That's a very underrated match.
And I like the ending. The ending of it where they were both holding on to the title on both sides and who was going to hold on to it. Because it's still, like, it's a cheesy spot.
No, it's cheesy, but it was never done before.
Right, and it was just like, if it was done with mid-card people, it would have been like, oh, yeah. But it was done with HBK and Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
And Jericho lost a tooth.
He did.
He did lose.
I actually thought he blew out his knee because I never saw somebody free fall that much from ring to concrete floor.
Until Undertaker did it and missed the tables.
When did?
Against Edge.
Against Edge at Extreme Rules. Yeah, that is funny. That's actually, I think, a couple months after Extreme Rules.
That's
so
right.
Undertaker was the first one, and then Jericho. That was just bad. That was your favorite match was Jericho and Michaels. Michaels your favorite performer, so you answered all of them. Malloy, how about you?
My favorite is the TLC match. I just think it's pretty cool when you add the ladders, the chairs, and the tables pretty much into a free-for-all match to get that belt or briefcase or whatever's on top of the ring. My favorite competitor is Edge, who competed actually in the most TLC matches.
Yes,
I'm aware of.
I think you're right.
My favorite TLC match is from WrestleMania 17 when he speared Jeff Hardy. That was probably like the most memorable moment with the TLC, but then there was many afterwards. I mean, there was great matches with the Shield versus Ryback and Team Hell No as of late. That was a good one. That was actually a great match.
First one without something hanging.
Yes, that was a pinfall match.
Yeah, pinfall match. That was the first one, right? Because, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into. I just know why, but Ryback was supposed to face Punk. Punk got injured. He got thrown in that match, and that's why it was pinfall. That they made it work too, actually, without something hanging up. That was a good pinfall match. That was probably the most recent cool one, right?
Yeah, it was what was the last TLC match?
At TLC.
At the last TLC pay-per-view.
Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. That was very good, but it was just like the ending was bad. Like how they ended with a monitor.
The monitor blowing up in his face.
Yeah, the whole I didn't even think about this. I forgot this was a question. So off the top of my head, I'm gonna go I Quit match.
Why?
As of late. Like, I mean, in its entirety. Main reason why is just because the first couple that took place, mainly with Mankind and The Rock. I guess Mankind will be my favorite performer. But
You're not saying The Rock?
I'm a big Rock fan, I know. But Mankind made that match because everybody knew he wasn't going to say I quit, but obviously knew Rock had to win. How are they going to do it? That's why it's my favorite. That's one of my favorite matches of all time. And it brought out a side of The Rock that you didn't see. He was such a showman, especially on the mic and even in the ring. He would do like a glide, people's elbow. The people's elbow is really stupid if you think about it in his concept. It's just a showman move. But how do you bring that out in an I Quit match? 17 chair shots, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Electrocute Mick Foley, handcuff him, all that stuff. Just brought out a side that you just never saw and you couldn't believe. But yeah, Mick Foley, he made all these gimmick matches. He made them to a level now that when you watch them, it doesn't feel the same because of the brutality that Mick Foley took.
Fact.
You know what I mean? That's what it
Fact.
is. And it sucks for the competitors because obviously they're putting their body into it, but Mick Foley just went so above and beyond. That's why I'm so appreciative of him. So, but yeah, he's my favorite in the I Quit match.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, it don't have to.
So So who are the 4 greatest of all time in professional wrestling? This could be in any organization: ECW, NWA, WCW, World Class, Championship Wrestling, WWE, of course. We're going to toss it to Malloy. 4 blank spaces. And even to be nice, in case you couldn't decide, I gave 2 honorable mentions. Malloy, excuse me. Close out the show. Who are your greatest of all time?
All right, I have Ric Flair, The Rock.
Is this 4-1?
4-1.
Okay, sorry.
The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and my 2 honorable mentions are Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
Oh, man, that's crazy. I almost had the same exact thing. But why do you want... Well, let's just name the list, and then we'll get to discussing. Actually, go why. I want to get some discussion here. So.
All right, Flair, because he stood the test of time. Like we said before, started in the 70s, got done in the late 2000s, 16-time world champion. I have Rock and Austin because they revolutionized the business in 98, 99, and a little bit in 2000 with the Invasion storyline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think overall, they're the reason that WCW was able to deflate and WWE was able to rise to the top.
Okay.
Hogan, he brought so much popularity to professional wrestling. He did it with WWE. He did it with WCW. He became a heel. They went back. He stood the test of time also. 30 plus year career, and you can't knock him for that. HBK, I have as an honorable mention because he's just done so much for the business. He did the unthinkable, able to come back and was able to wrestle for 20 plus years, which was amazing. And having Cena, if there's ever going to be a 5th face carved in Mount Rushmore for professional wrestling, Cena would be there. He's stood the test of time. He has done a lot for the business and done even more outside the business.
Okay, I definitely agree. That's also why I think he should beat Flair's record. I digress. Price, before you give us your list, how much do you agree with Malloy, and how much do you not agree with Malloy? Or do you want us to go into your list and explain why you do or don't?
I somewhat agree with his Mount Rushmore. I kind of have it a little bit differently, and here's what I have. My number 4 is The Undertaker, just because of what he did for the business.
Test of time, that's
right
on TV.
And then also who he helped come up. He trained so many people coming up and gave that big man gimmick to Big Show's number 1 person that I could come to mind. Anyways, my number 3, Hulk Hogan, because he took wrestling out of cigars and everybody else, and then made it into this huge thing of kids wearing the shirts and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Ric Flair, because like Tom said, wrestling from the 70s went into touched so many decades of fans, and made wrestling what it is today. Mm-hmm. And number 1, Bruno Sammartino. A lot of people forget about him.
See, I don't forget about him. It's just that he's not in my era, so I don't know how great he was. Obviously, he was great because he sold out the MSG like 10 straight years.
Right.
And nobody could do that.
His title reigns, you would not be able to see.
No, that would never be.
Thousands and thousands. Honorable mentions, Vince Jr., because we wouldn't be sitting here and talking about this because we would still be inside of like rec centers and stuff.
Yep.
Rec centers and stuff, just talking about how we've seen indie wrestling. And The Rock, because, well, Mount Rushmore's made out of a rock.
That's a good one. All right. I do like the sleepers on Bruno and Vince Jr. Like I said, I never forget about Bruno. Even before he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I always wondered why he was never inducted. Obviously, I found out why. He just didn't like the sport and what it became. But I just never, obviously, I never saw him or Andre. A lot of people say Andre too, but I just never saw them, so I can't appreciate what they did. So I have to go off of what I saw, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I'm a young guy, as we all are, on the show. So my 4 through 1, I have John Cena, Ric Flair number 3, Austin at number 2, Hogan at number 1. You say Vince Jr., I say Hulk Hogan made Vince. I know Vince makes his stars, don't get me wrong. But you also, just like a player, if you're a coach, you could say whatever you want. The player has to perform and deliver. Hogan did that. He had the look that Vince wanted. He had the drive to become the best that, I don't know if Vince wanted or Hogan wanted, but obviously it worked out. So that's my number 1. Brought so much pop culture into the sport. I know a lot of traditionalists didn't like it, but it worked out, and that's why wrestling has become literally what it is today because of those two. But like I said, I'm going to take the player over the coach every time. I have Austin at number 2 because besides the Boom, which was Hogan, I have Austin in the most popular superstar. I know a lot of people say Austin and Rock were head to head pretty much. I don't think Rock was ever as popular as Austin was, unfortunately. Maybe the last year of his career in 03 or 02, but that's about it. I think from 97 to 01, it was Austin, not even a doubt in my mind. Ric Flair at number 3. Hogan was the Boom. Austin was the most popular era. Ric Flair was the only person to keep NWA/WCW afloat against WWE. If he wasn't there, I don't even know if those organizations would last. I mean, you have Dusty Rhodes and Harley Race, but he had more title reigns than them, and he had more charisma than them. Maybe not Rhodes. You could obviously that'd be a good argument for our next special edition, but he had the complete package. I think he was a better wrestler than Dusty. Mic work, debatable, but I just think he had the complete package, and he was the greatest competition to WWE. Cena, if you look at my 1 through 3, they're all era-based. John Cena is the face of this era for the last 10 years. He's a workhorse inside, outside the ring. He's reinvented himself. If he goes heel again, he will definitely reinvent himself because it's been a 10-year gap there almost. And then my honorable mentions, I have Rock and Michaels. Shawn Michaels made WrestleMania, I think, what it is on a match scale, not the glitz and glamour, on a professional wrestling scale, and he should be rewarded for that. And then The Rock, he was the second most popular wrestler in the most popular era. What he did on the mic, nobody did before with his entertainment, and underrated wrestler, actually, I think. So.
That's what I meant to say for The Rock.
What?
Exactly what you said.
That's what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Not the structure.
No.
I got you. Any thoughts overall? Disagree, agree? They're almost all on the same base, except I did want to put Undertaker and Bret Hart. If I had to make a top 10, they'd round out the top 10 probably.
Thank you for tuning in. You could always contact us on social media. We have Facebook, which is the PriMalLow Wrestling Show. We also have a Facebook group now, which is the PriMalLow Wrestling Show group. And we also have Twitter, which our Twitter handle is @PriMalLow Show. And we're also on SoundCloud and YouTube. Our SoundCloud page is PriMalLow Wrestling Show, and our YouTube page is also PriMalLow Wrestling Show. You can just search up any episode, and it should be up there. We're also on Blogger, PriMalLowWrestlingShow.blogspot.com. And next week, do not worry, do not fear. The PriMalLow crew will be back together for episode number 44. So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 43, and thank you guys for tuning in. Until next week, see you later.